Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. We here, full effect, to talk about these New York Knicks. I don't know how much there is really to talk about the game, but we're going to talk about some stuff anyway, so let's get poppin'. What's up, people? What's going on with you, man? We back in the building. Knicks versus Miami Heat tonight at the Garden. And, you know, I got a lot of questions about the Knicks right now. Coach David Fizdale, the New York Knicks, and everything that's happened and everything that's popping. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of questions. Because it seems like this, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things happening. So I got a lot of questions about Fizdale, whether or not Fizdale can Fizdale keep it under control? Because it seems like things are starting to get a little bit, maybe just a little bit out of control, man. You know what I'm saying? We talked about this a little bit before, a little bit Friday night, I guess it was. A little bit Friday night. I'm not sure if Fizdale can keep it under control. Can Fizdale really control this group? You know what I'm saying? Because it just feels like, to me, like he can't control this group. You know, there was a lot of talk in the beginning of the season about culture, about, you know, building this thing the right way and all this kind of stuff. But right now, it doesn't feel like he can control the group. He can, look, you got Hardaway and Trier, whatever that was. Right? And I'm going to tell you right now, that didn't come from, that whole thing with Hardaway and Trier, that didn't come from just one game. I don't care what anybody says. Right? That didn't come from one game. That didn't come because that one time Alonzo Trier didn't pass Hardaway the ball. That doesn't happen. That comes from a buildup. That's a buildup of frustration, right? They obviously had some things going on before that, right? And then of course Trier, you know, said what he said to that fan, you know, about Hardaway not making the correct rotation and all that kind of stuff. All right, that's a buildup of frustration. That doesn't happen just one time. That's not just a one-time thing. You know, of course, you got Enes Kanter. You know, Enes Kanter, you know, crying and complaining about playing time. You know, and that's been building, that's been brewing, that's been coming. And so we knew that, you know, we know what that is already. And on top of that, Fizdale is unable to make the correct remarks at the right, you know, makes the wrong remarks at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Fizdale makes the wrong remarks at the wrong time. That's just is what it is. And I think we talked about it on the last stream. He just makes the wrong remarks. He's not saying, he doesn't say the right things. Fizdale. You know, in his post-game interview the other day, you know, he let the cat out the bag, basically, you know, about Hardaway and his contract. And, you know, as far as his contract is concerned, you know, he's part of this team going forward. He talked about Enes Kanter just not being part of the future. Right? So in a way, David Fizdale is he's part of the whole thing. You know what I mean? He's part of the whole thing. He's playing as big of a role as the players are playing in this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? He is. He's playing just as big of a role as the players are playing. You know, because of his mouth, to put it bluntly. You know, so I'm not sure if he can keep it together for the rest of the season. I mean, I'm sure, you know, he's going to be here. I'm not saying he's not going to be here. He's going to be here, right? But he's really got to fight to keep this thing together, you know, so that it doesn't get out of control. BN, you said stop with the Fizz trash talk. Tim and Moutier, I'm going to say Moutier, are the ones that's putting the trash on the court. You know what? I disagree with you, BN. I'm not trash talking Fizz. I'm asking a question. And I'm going to state my opinion about it. Right? Because very clearly things are happening within the locker room that Fizz, to me, is not having control over. He's not making... I don't know. I think it started from the beginning of the season. In the beginning of the season, we had a big call in the chat about, not a big call, but a lot of discussions about him holding tighter reins, him being more disciplined with the guys. Right? About him obviously having more structure on the floor and all those type of things, but just being more disciplined. He doesn't have to be their friend. He's their coach. He's not their friend. He's their coach. Right? And that's where he needs to be, their coach. I got Guillermo in the chat. What's up, Guillermo?
It's good, Sim. I was reading up on everything you said, man. You know what that means, Sim? That means we don't have a leader on this team, period, man.
Exactly.
Everything you said means we don't have no leadership on this team, man. It should not take you to how many tweets or whatever for you as a coach to say, yo, Cancer, unless you shut up, you are not playing. I could care less about your trade value. It shouldn't take up to this. With the Trier and the Hardaway thing, yes, I think the whole thing with Hardaway is just brewing. And that's because people don't see him as his leader, even though he wants to be rah, rah, rah. And that's up to the coach to quell that. The coach has to be the one to tell these idiots, yo, look, both of you guys, shut the F up. We're losing. You're not playing. Neither of you guys are playing good on defense or exceptionally well on offense. Shut up. And I just want to give you two stats between the Knicks and the Heat to show you how underachieving the Knicks are. The Knicks are averaging 107 points. You know how many points the Heat are averaging? 106 points. Mm-hmm. The Knicks have a second to worst defense in the NBA. The Heat have a top 10 defense in the NBA. The Knicks are running at average pace. The Heat are running slower than average pace. And I believe the Heat, you see, I just want to get where the
broke up on me a little bit.
So when people sit here and say that and talk about Fizdale can't come here and implement a system, bro, if the Heat can have, I mean, it's a losing record, but they're at least in the playoff run race. They have a top 10 defense. Why can't the Knicks? Why can't the Knicks replicate some of this stuff? So we have no leadership. It's the blind running the blind, man. So it's very disappointing to hear all this stuff with Trier and all this. And I'm very scared about Carmelo coming back to the Garden. I don't know why he's coming back to the Garden. It shouldn't be to scout out him trying to come back to the. I'm just very, I don't want to say scared, but I'm scared of Carmelo thing come back. But the Knicks, man, it's just disgusting what we're doing, man. I feel lost for this team, man. Like, I know Fizdale, we have to wait till the second half till some pieces get traded off, but this is it's unprofessional. What big star wants to come to this team?
Right. And maybe Melo coming back to the Guard, maybe some people consider, could be thinking that, it's possible that this is the last game that Dwayne Wade plays at the Garden. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just, come see Dwayne Wade play. I don't know. Now I've seen some people in the chat say, we're tanking and, all that good stuff. I understand the whole process, that we're losing, we're not going to have a winning season. I get all of that, but it can also come drama free. You can have a developmental season without the drama. You know what I mean? That's what, this season was supposed to be about, building the culture without having drama. It's not turning out that way, right? It's turning out, I know losing breeds, losing is gonna breed frustration. It's going to, people are going to be mad, all that kind of stuff. But we don't gotta have. We don't gotta have the drama. We don't gotta have the people talking through social media. And players are gonna make mistakes. Coaches are gonna make mistakes. Actually, Coach Fizdale should be able to. Everyone's entitled to mistakes. I get that, but Fizdale's got to be able to hold that together. Understand what he's saying and keep his mouth shut at times. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, sometimes it's him. Sometimes it is. I can't imagine how Tim Hardaway, although, we all want Tim Hardaway to be traded, but just given the fact that he's a player, you got to give him some respect there. I know how I would have felt if I would have heard Fizdale say what he said. I'd have been pissed off. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been pissed off if I heard him say, he's got an $18 million contract, and as far as his contract concerned, so from that standpoint, he's part of this organization. I'd have been pissed off. Cantor. If I was Cantor, I'd be pissed off as well. With everything that's going on now, Cantor opted in, knowing what this season could possibly be about. You know what I mean? So he opted in. He took the $18 million. Accept your role the way, whatever it is that the team asks of you, take your $18 million and accept it. But communication is key, though, right? Because communication is not just this season. Communication is one of the things that we want to build a positive culture, a good culture. Is good communication. I don't know. It's something, man. It's something.
Yeah, so you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, my bad. Let me over. Yeah, I can hear you a little bit. You bring up a little bit, but I can hear you. Yeah, I was gonna say, man, even with the Cantor and the Tim Hardaway thing, if you were upfront with these guys in the beginning, like, hey, look, we're more than likely gonna move on from you guys, but hey, we want to build your trade value, but also trying to build up the young kids on his team for the next second half. So it's gonna be a team in flux, but look, just try to bear with us, but we'll try to get you guys in the best situations possible for you.
Right. And exactly. And I see somebody in the chat.
That, man.
What'd you say? I see someone in the chat. Says laugh out loud. We're complaining because Fizz is being honest. We're not complaining because Fizz is being honest. We're complaining because Fizz is being honest to the media, right? That stuff needs to stay in-house. You don't say it to the media. That's what I'm complaining about, right? There's no reason to say it to the media. Right? You don't got to put that stuff out there.
The New York media is going to suck you in.
Exactly.
New York media is going to suck you in and make and act like you're a friend with them and all that stuff, and it's more damaging to your team. And New York media, same people that build you up and tear you down when you're coming down, man. So he needs to be smart with that, man. He needs to take. You said we can't learn anything tonight, Sim. We can learn a lot of things tonight. We can see how the Heat run the organization. I think Fizdale, he needs to look at how the Heat run the organization, from how the guys play on the court, how Pat Riley and Spoelstra run a tight ship in terms of. Because remember how Hassan Whiteside last year, right? Hassan Whiteside was causing a lot of trouble, and they made it clear to him, like, hey, we can move on from him if you don't shape up. And now Hassan Whiteside's having a better season than what he had at the end of last year. So there's ways to do this stuff without going to the media and being a gossip girl, man. Or gossip guy, excuse me.
Exactly. Now, it seems apparent, though, that the Knicks, if you want to say, they're moving on from, right now, they're moving on from anyone that's 26 years old and over, right? Now we're hearing Trey Burke is available, which we figured would be. Trey Burke is available for trade. For maybe second rounders or something like that. Obviously, we know Cantor, Tim Hardaway Jr., all these guys are available for trade. Courtney Lee. The only person I haven't heard that's available for trade is Lance Thomas. I'm sure if the right thing came along, Lance Thomas would be available as well. But right now, if you're, on the Knicks, if you're 26 years old, you're old. That's how it is for the Knicks right now. What do you think about that, Grandma?
it just sucks because I agree with Trey Burke and some of these other guys going, but you know, we honestly don't have. I don't know. Trade in certain areas. We have a lot of guards. We have a few threes, but we don't have a mix of guys who complement each other well. So I don't mind the trading thing. You know, a guy like Lance Thomas, I liked him, but you know, I think his body's breaking down a little bit. He's just not as fresh as he was like 2 years ago when he was able to hit threes and play really good defense. So I mean, I don't mind it. There's like, you know, how much value can you get for a guy like Lance Thomas? I think the guy that if you want to try to sell high, I think it's gonna be Vonleh. You know, he's a guy that I think a fringe playoff team could look at and say he could be our space three, play great defense. And also think Vonleh, he's a reactionary guy, right? He's a guy I think that if you brought him into say the Sixers might be hard just because the characters on that team are a little too much. But I think a guy like Vonleh, if you put him on I don't want to even say Pacers, but you know, one of these fringe teams, like he's a big and three who could shoot, play great defense, and Spurs play, give you 25 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. You know, you saw high on him. So I don't mind the guys being traded off. But, I mean, again, if we get stuck with a whole bunch of young guys and then we can't pick up any free agents for next year, what is Fizdale going to do? I think Fizdale and Mills in the front office, they're depending too much on a big-time free agents coming to the Knicks and leading the show. And I think that's the wrong way to go about it. So,
yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see. We're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna see how this goes and see, you know, after the deadline, what kind of team we have left after the deadline. If we're able to move any of these guys, I don't even know if we're gonna be able to move any of these guys. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens after the, we'll see how things look after the playoff. I mean, after the deadline, and if we're able to.
I got a question, Tim.
Yeah.
I got a question real quick. If we can't move some of these guys off the roster, right? Do you cut them? Like, do you cut a Cantor and a Tim Hardaway? They're gonna get picked up, obviously, but
yeah,
would you just cut them?
I can see letting Cantor go. I'm not sure about Tim Hardaway Jr. I think that they'll keep Tim Hardaway Jr. in hopes that maybe, you know, you can do something during, maybe during for the draft.
I forgot. Yeah, he has an extra year, right? Yeah.
Because he's still there. Maybe you can do something during the draft. Maybe you can do something over the summer. You know, anything. Who knows that? So I think you would hold on to Hardaway. Cantor, I think, Cantor, you know, could definitely go. Big shout out to Vandellas Benberry for the super chat, and I just want to apologize to anyone if I didn't get the phone calls. I know I didn't have a lot of time tonight, so. You know, we're just kind of talking. We'll definitely have phone calls when we do the post game later on. I'll be back on at halftime too. Maybe I'll be able to jump in and take a couple of phone calls at halftime. Guillermo, you have a game prediction for tonight?
We're playing at home. We're probably gonna lose by. They don't have Tyler Johnson tonight, but I think that big man Hassan Whiteside is going to have a pretty good game, double-double, 15 and 15 probably. They're going to run us out the gym. Just better defense, better concentration. I think we lose by 15.
Okay.
Yeah, just well-oiled team. We don't do well with teams that are well-oiled, and they're going to play. If Cantor plays, they're going to just play that pick and roll, or they're going to try to get what's the name in trouble? What's his boy's name? Mitchell Robinson in trouble. And once that happens, our front court is exposed. So
yeah.
I don't wish for a loss. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, we can battle through all this stuff that's going on, you know, all the talk outside of just the team. And it's, you know, it's inflicted, you know, people are going to say the media, but I think a lot of it is inflicted upon, you know, the Knicks have inflicted it upon themselves. Yeah, I just want to see them battle through it. I think that Miami's defense is going to shut us down, though, to be honest with you. I think they're going to shut us down. Yep. And, maybe, the game will stay within reach, but I don't think we'll have a chance to win it. I'd like to see us pull it off, but I think the defense is going to be too much. Yeah. But, Guillermo, I'm gonna go ahead and head off so I can check out the game. And I'll catch you guys at halftime. Peace. what's up with this thing, man? So it wasn't that. That wasn't the problem. So it was either something with appearing